Hi, welcome to the quiz. You will be presented with multiple choice questions, each displayed on screen for a short time. Please make sure to attempt answering all the questions. Quizzes help us to reinforce our knowledge, identify areas where we need to focus more, and improve our overall performance. Taking quizzes can also help to increase retention and make the learning process more engaging and enjoyable. With that out of the way, you can answer along on quizalto.com. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started. Good luck. What does the Proton controller do in AWS Proton? Monitors network traffic. Optimizes database performance. Assigns IP addresses to instances. Manages the deployment lifecycle. What is a key advantage of using AWS Proton for automated deployment and management? Improving server performance. Increasing disk space. Ensuring consistency and compliance. Reducing processor speed. What programming languages are supported by AWS Proton for defining service templates? Swift and Kotlin. Python and Java. YAML and JSON. Ruby and JavaScript. Who can benefit the most from using AWS Proton? System architects. Network administrators. Financial analysts. Developers working on serverless applications. What role does AWS Proton play in CI/CD pipelines? Monitoring server uptime. Managing access control for S3 buckets. Automating the deployment of serverless applications. Optimizing database performance. How does AWS Proton help simplify the management of microservices architecture? Requires manual scaling. Reduces server uptime. Provides templates for service configuration. Increases latency in service communication. What is the main goal of AWS Proton service templates? To limit the scalability of applications. To track performance metrics of deployed applications. To enforce strict security policies in applications. To provide reusable templates for microservices deployment. How does AWS Proton help developers? By abstracting the infrastructure management and providing deployment pipelines. By limiting the deployment options available. By increasing manual configuration tasks. By focusing on legacy application support. What is the role of the Proton CLI in AWS Proton? Monitor overall system health. Manage IAM roles. Automate code deployments. Interact with the Proton service. What role does AWS Proton Engine play in the deployment process? It manages user authentication. It analyzes log files for errors. It orchestrates the deployment of infrastructure and applications. It monitors network performance. What is a service instance in AWS Proton? A placeholder for future services. An individual deployment of a service from a service template. A physical server hosting multiple services. A database used for service configuration. What is an artifact in AWS Proton? A deployable template bundle that contains code and configuration. A container image for running services. A log file generated during deployment. An access token for the AWS Proton API. What does AWS Proton provide to assist in infrastructure management tasks? Predefined templates for configuration. Data encryption algorithms. Hardware maintenance services. User interface customization options. What is the AWS Proton CLI used for? Optimizing network traffic. Visualizing infrastructure diagrams. Managing user permissions. Interacting with Proton resources through the command line. What is the main purpose of AWS Proton? Monitoring network traffic in VPCs. Managing cost optimization for EC2 instances. Automating infrastructure provisioning for serverless applications. Deploying machine learning models. What is a key benefit of using AWS Proton for managing infrastructure? Real-time monitoring of application performance. Automatic scaling of resources. Standardization and reusability of infrastructure templates. Dynamic resource allocation. How does AWS Proton enforce governance and security policies? By allowing users to define guardrails and infrastructure templates. By automatically allocating more resources when needed. By running vulnerability scans on applications. By providing direct access to physical servers. What feature of AWS Proton allows users to define CI/CD pipelines for their applications? Blueprint approval process. GitHub Actions integration. Container orchestration. Serverless architecture. What is a key benefit of using AWS Proton for application deployment? Data encryption. Increased network speed. Cost reduction. Standardization. What type of application environments can be provisioned using AWS Proton? Virtual machines and databases. CDN and caching services. Networking resources and security groups. Containers and serverless. Which AWS service is integrated with AWS Proton to help manage application versions and dependencies? Amazon S3. Amazon EC2. AWS Code Pipeline. AWS Step Functions. What is the role of the Proton service role in AWS Proton? Manages permissions and actions for AWS Proton. Monitors server performance. Deploys application code. Validates code syntax. What type of applications is AWS Proton best suited for? Legacy mainframe applications. Monolithic applications. Microservices. Standalone desktop applications. Which AWS service can AWS Proton be integrated with to manage containerized applications? Amazon ECS. Amazon S3. Amazon RDS. Amazon SQS. What feature of AWS Proton ensures consistency in deployments across environments? Infrastructure templates. Server resource allocation. Network bandwidth optimization. Database performance tuning. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com, where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.